Give it up. Give up that war. You know, the war that you have to really fight is the war against yourself. Now, it's not easy to look in the mirror and to change your own life. It's hard as hell. You have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable. Good, because discomfort is how we grow. That's how we become strong. If you want to grow as a person, you really have to make friends with pain. Embrace the discomfort. Enjoy the struggle. You have two paths in front of you right now. One of them is going to be the harder. It's going to be downright painful. You will have to force your brain to think in new ways. You might lose some friends who want to hold on to their weak beliefs. But as you pull yourself away from that anger and that hate, eventually you will start to feel power. The power to change your own life. You will be stronger than you've ever known.
Listen, you are a warrior. Don't ever let anybody take what you're supposed to get. When you're in the gym and you're out of shape, you don't look good. You don't look good. When you're learning something, when you go to school and they give you the grade and everybody's, oh, he didn't do good. He got a D. That hurt and you go, yeah, what you gonna do, never take a test? No, you get back up and you get what you are supposed to get.
You see, if you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who never cut you. I gotta be honest with you, when it comes to relationship pain and when it comes to heartbreak, it's a drive-through only matter. You can't go around it, you can't avoid it. The only way to get over it is to actually face it and drive through it.
If you wake up and every day you obsess over something and you live and breathe it, and that's what you think about, that's what you do, that's what you study on and off, that's what you stay up every night grinding, and no one else even gives a flying about it, it's like, you just feel like a weirdo. We agreed not to drink, we didn't do drugs, like we didn't date, we didn't do anything. We just literally obsessed from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed. That's literally all we did.
If I got to fight to get you in the gym, that's a problem. That's a problem. You want players that are gym rats, players that want to be in the gym, that want to work. And then from there, you build on top of that. But if you're lazy, man, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with you. You're going to make me feel dumber. You're going to lower my level. I don't think so. You can go over there. There's plenty of teams in here where you'll fit right in.
I really like being as busy as I can possibly be all of the time, and I kind of trained myself for that. I started training myself for that really when I went to graduate school because I wanted to find out how much I could do. And I like running at top speed all the time.
Never, ever put yourself in a situation where you hurt your willpower. Never. Because eventually the world, businesses, companies, families, anything is ran by leaders, not because they're talented, not because they speak better than everybody else, not because they're the best at reading books, not because they have the fanciest degree. Because in a boardroom, when this guy or this gal says he or she is going to do something, you can bank it. You can cash the check, baby. And people like that are not a dime a dozen. They are rarer than diamond.
People you love can sometimes suffocate the dream, can make you believe that it's not possible. It feels like a lot of parents kind of want you to be safe, want you to be stable, want you to have a plan so that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And the dream feels like a threat to that.
People have a certain energy about them. When there are people in the world that are focused and I wake up in the morning with a purpose. This is what I'm doing. You can feel that energy. So those are the people that I tend to work with a lot. And if you don't have that, I can sense it. If you're a person that's very distracted, hanging around the wrong crowd, not having that sense of purpose, we don't want to be around because that stuff will bring you down.
My version on revenge is a little bit more like the inability to even care about their action.
To shrug it off. Okay.
Not only shrug it off, it's almost as if it didn't happen. It goes on this nice little shelf. I'm like, that's nice. You can play with yourself in that cocoon of whatever you feel about me. You've now become a energy that is just not a good use of time. That's how I've dealt with people that have done really not nice things. And to be frank, I've evolved a little bit from that, deploying really deep sympathy. The thought at this point in my life that you want to spend any of your time hurting somebody else's feelings seems outrageously foreign and really just makes me feel compassionate.
Faith isn't believing something you can't see. Strange thing about faith and fear, they both demand you believe something you can't see. Why would people choose fear over faith? Because they're ignorant.
You can't control what people do, you can't control what they say, but you can control how you respond. Life is too short to live frustrated, upset over things we have no control. People have a right to have their opinion, You have the right to ignore it. People have the right to be rude. You have the right to stay happy. Quit letting their negative comments upset you. They wouldn't be talking about you if you weren't making a difference. Nobody talks about people that are not doing anything. They're talking about you because you're going places. They can see there's something special about you. You have the favor of God. You're blessed. You're talented. You're anointed.
The greatest people are self-managing. They don't need to be managed. Once they know what to do, they'll go figure out how to do it. They don't need to be managed at all. What they need is a common vision. And that's what leadership is. What leadership is having a vision, being able to articulate that so the people around you can understand it.
When you have a dream, the one thing you have to watch out for are those out there that'll try to crush your dream. And you cannot allow that to happen. That is your biggest challenge. So I challenge you to have your dream, go after it with all you have, and be legendary in your own right.
It'd be people that have no plan, that aren't doing anything, are the most distracted.
Right.
They're the ones that speak the loudest, because if you're doing something, you don't have time to be worried about somebody else. You don't have time for jealousy if you're doing something. You're too tired doing what you're doing. So if you're sitting around thinking, that means you should be doing some action. So that's your fault. So then the overcompensation comes for blaming somebody else for the reasons why you don't want to move.
Maybe you're making a choice to do the instrumental and easy thing, but there's part of you that knows that that's wrong. Not always. Sometimes you just make a mistake because you don't know, but often you know, and yet you pick the easier path, let's say. And the part of the manner in which God is portrayed throughout the biblical corpus, but I would say in traditions around the world, as that phenomenon that alerts you to your own misbehavior. And it is really something, again, I really learned from Jung, contra Freud in some real sense, is that, and contra Nietzsche, who believed that maybe we could create our own values, is that there's something within that is transcendent, because it isn't only in you, it's in everyone in some fundamental and real sense, plus it's eternal in some fundamental and real sense, and it calls you on your misbehavior.
But you have to be patient. You don't gotta make no moves. You ain't playing checkers, you playing chess. It take years for some moves to be made. God will show you. If you wanna know, just pray, get close to him. God, show me, show me.
You're crazy until you're successful, then you're a genius. And I think for a lot of people, when you're grinding as a small channel, people think you're too obsessed. You're a weirdo. Stop only making videos. Like, get alive. Be realistic. People will convince you you're out of your mind for wanting to do this. But then once you're successful, they're like, yo, your drive, your tenacity was great. But it's like, yeah, well, where was that back then? You know what I mean? I didn't get that when I was a small channel.